Lights up, you gotta get up, little Piagua man. Start ringing that bell and bring in the cash the best you can. All right, that's literally the best I can do, Rob. That's the best I can do.
Okay.
So, folks, we are here for the In the Heights movie Spoilercast. Spoilers. Oh, whoa. All right. So, Monkey, I'm just gonna, because I've been dying to get your thoughts on it, since I saw the movie on Thursday, I'm gonna jump to, honestly, what I consider to be probably the biggest spoiler of the whole movie for Hamilton fans, all right? Chris Jackson is Mr. Softy.
That's not where I thought you were going with this.
Okay. Monkey.
That's one of those things I wish I hadn't found out beforehand.
Hold on. I was probably the only one in the theater who was laughing hysterically at the Piagua Man sequence as soon as I saw Chris Jackson pop up out of that ice cream truck. But goddamn, was it delightful.
And you stayed after the credits?
No, I did not.
Oh.
Why, is there more of Mr. Softy?
Yeah, they use the Piragua reprise as a stinger.
Nice. Okay, well, I have HBO Max, so I can go back and look at that. Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Monkey, where did you think I was going to go with the biggest spoiler?
The ringtone? I mean, the hold music?
I mean, yeah, that's more of an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Okay, just overall, Monkey, we're just kind of diving into it because you and I are, I feel like we don't even really need to dance around the bush here. This is a movie that you and I have both been looking forward to for the better part of a decade. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
And now we've got it, and I feel like we're pretty much on the same page with this, Monkey. Correct me if I'm wrong.
If I'm a little more positive than you. And also, you watched it twice now, right?
Yeah, I've seen it twice. Feel free to add anything to my initial statements, but as far as I'm concerned, I think that this movie, as an adaptation of the musical, as far as adapting the musical numbers to screen go, it's freaking genius, man. It's up there with the best of them. It's up there with how they adapted Chicago or something like that. The way that they were able to kind of still take the realism, but still kind of elevate the realism, elevated fantastical realism. It's great. I feel in a lot of cases it elevates what's already fantastic on the stage.
Yeah, and it's already wonderful to hear these songs, to witness these songs being used in a movie, in the Heights movie.
But of course, Monkey, I think you and I both agree, story-wise, this could use some work.
There are a few character things I have in mind, but
so let's dive into that. What do you have in mind?
Well, just my overall thoughts on the film are, despite a couple adaptational weird things, it's still pretty good, and of course, hope it's still pretty good for those who don't know the show. I feel like what kind of stuck out to me in terms of the adaptation and this is one of those cases where, if I may steal some explanations from David Gansel, it's a case where you comment on the sort of criticisms partially because it's easier to make those more specific, and then in contrast to just saying the movie was good over and over.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like what stuck out to me was some of the characters who had the roles diminished a little. Maybe that was a bit odd. And then say in particular, I feel like Benny's role was diminished a lot.
It was for sure.
His conflicts are
most of his conflicts with Kevin are pretty much wiped under the table, as far as I could tell.
Yeah. And
there's a brief mention of here's to getting fired, but it's we don't live in the moment of why he's so resentful about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole element of the culture clash between him and Kevin.
Not to mention, they just totally cut out the fight between Nina and Benny at the club.
Yeah. It's one of those, change.
Yeah, right.
I did go into this movie trying to be like, okay, it looks like they're going to be making a bunch of major changes, so go in like just trying to watch it as a movie, not as much as, okay, here's what they cut, here's what they changed, here's what they added, and I feel like I generally succeeded on that, even though I still am kind of looking at the movie in retrospect mostly from an adaptational point of view, but, the movie still works.
All right, Monkey, I need to talk about one thing in particular. To me, this was the biggest thing where they changed it, and I don't think it served the story. I think it diminished some of the power.
I'm still not sure exactly what point this is. You haven't told me yet, and I haven't entirely figured it out.
The fact that we don't find out that Abuela won the money until, like, way later on in the story. That, to me, just kind of, like, it diminishes Abuela's presence throughout the story, if you know what I mean. Like, because to me, like, one of the big things with Abuela, like, in the second act is that we know she has the money, and yet she's still so humble with it. You know what I mean? And that's a really endearing quality. And because of that, we lose out on a couple really great songs with her and Usnavi. And I feel like with Abuela, I mean, of course, the actress, returning from the original Broadway cast, and she's absolutely fantastic. I mean, that song that they give her, like, that's obviously in the show as well. But I feel like that song is a great example of, like, a song that absolutely, like, they take a great song from the original and they elevate it with the visuals, right?
I fucking love how they do the welcoming mommy and me, you better clean this mess moment. Oddly enough, that scene reminded me of this. The way they did it reminded me of this one scene in the Gloria Estefan musical On Your Feet. But, esoteric references.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this? But yeah, it's funny. I don't feel it in the same way, but I also feel like Abuela could have had more of a presence in the film.
Yeah,
you could still keep the lottery reveal a surprise for later. I didn't mind that as much as you did, but at least, still have Abuela around.
That was the main thing that threw me off in terms of, like, I was thinking about it as I was watching the movie, and then first of all, we got to talk about the cutaway children, because my God, they could be cut away from the whole fucking movie, and I wouldn't care.
Yeah, I don't deny when we get to the ending.
Crazy, son. Like, oh, ha ha ha, young kids talking like older people, isn't it charming? I want to die inside.
When we get to the end of the movie, I can understand wwhy the children are there.
I can to a certain extent, but even still,
I understand that. I just feel like maybe, and it's one of those cases where it's like feel bad complaining about children, but I feel like they could have been at the very least recast.
Yeah.
I don't want to say. I don't know if twee is the word, but that's the one that comes to mind.
Oh, they are very twee.
Yeah,
like I said, especially the whole, like, you talking crazy, boy. Like, that is twee as fuck, monkey.
Yeah, I mean, other than that, like, of course, the movie is very well cast.
Yeah, I mean, let's not mince words here. Like, everyone does a fantastic job. Ramos really definitely, it's great to see Ramos in the lead of a Lin-Manuel production. I think he knocks it out of the park. What I love about Ramos is that not for a second does he try to do a Lin-Manuel impression. And I feel like in a lot of the In the Heights productions that I've watched on YouTube with Usnavis, it's always just trying to, it's like, okay, you got the fucking, the red sweater and the hat, and, like, Usnavi is like a very, like, elevated, he's almost kind of like a cartoon character in the way that some people try and portray him. Whereas Ramos just has kind of like a quiet dignity about him. So I love that. Let's see, Benny, Corey Hawkins plays Benny. Monkey, Corey Hawkins was briefly on The Walking Dead, and then he got killed off in a very unceremonious way. So it's nice to see Corey Hawkins back in something where his talent is actually on full display.
Yeah, because he wasn't in BlacKkKlansman very long. So.
No. Yeah, right.
No, I just realized he was in
Monkey, to me, guess who stole the show as far as the cast goes?
Who stole it?
Someone who I haven't mentioned yet.
Kimmy Smits?
He was great. Although I really missed a mutual.
Yeah, me too. Daphne Rubin Vega?
Yes! Ding, 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 ding. Daphne Rubin Vega was on fucking fire in this movie, Monkey.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Recently, apparently she was the DJ at the beginning of the Broadway show, like as a voiceover.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah.
I love a lot of stuff about Daphne Rubin Vega in this movie. Of course, meta-narratively, I love the fact that it's like she wasn't in the Rent movie and now she gets to shine in this.
Oh,
and this is like such a more deserving Broadway adaptation for her to be in. Like, just from a meta-contextual point of view, I think that's kind of awesome. I don't know. I just think Daniela is just the perfect role for her, and she just completely just embodies it, man. She is so larger than life.
Yeah. I won't deny, I feel like the new salon lady could have been cut as well, but that's not Daphne Rubin Vega.
And that's Kulka. That's one you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she wasn't great. I also feel like she kind of got in the way of some of
I didn't see why the character had to be there.
Yeah. I also feel like she kind of got in the way of we could have had more Carla and Daniela banter, but we didn't. I mean, we had some, but, not all of it was there.
And yes, I was, watching and listening to Carla and thinking, that's Goslin.
Yeah, right. For sure. Let's see. As far as the actresses playing Nina and Vanessa go, I don't have much in the way of notes for them because I know both of them are relatively newcomers.
Yeah, they're both really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like outside of those damn wiener kids, it's really well cast.
You talking crazy, boy? All right, now I know what the end tag for this is gonna be. But I mean, let's talk about the way that they visually adapt stuff, because a lot of it to me, Monkey, is so compelling. Of course, with In the Heights, the thing that I really found compelling about In the Heights, and it was in the trailer a little bit, was that visual of Yusnavi like looking through the window of the bodega, and there's all the people outside, and he's stuck inside, and that's like the start of the I'm a streetlight thing.
Yeah, you want an amazing, perfect shot for that moment? Here it is.
Yeah, that shot, Monkey, the whole that whole deal where they're dancing in front of the window, and then the camera pans, and and we see everyone out on the street. I mean, that is some fantastic fucking filmmaking. Right,
this is a story that benefits from being able to have a ton of extras in it.
You know what? That's the thing that my grandma noted as soon as we left the theater. Was like, oh my god, there were a lot of extras in this movie.
Yeah, it's like on stage you only had just shy of 24 actors in the company. So.
Right, exactly. So it really... Go ahead.
Also, I looked. About 68.5% of the original Broadway company is in this movie to some capacity.
That's awesome.
Like, some of them are dancers, some are vocalists, and obviously some in larger roles. Chris Jackson. I definitely recognize Seth Stewart in there as the bartender.
Let's see. So,
it's funny. It's funny. You look back, at that vlog we shot before the Disneyland Christmas parade back in 2016, and I straight up called Lin-Manuel being the Piragua guy.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I mean, I've already geeked out about it before, but I think Piragua guy is maybe one of the best adapted songs in the whole movie. It's just, first of all, it's one of the few times where they kind of reorder where the song goes, and I think it works out for the better.
I might be a little opposite on that. Maybe it'll grow on me.
I like it because it's right after 96,000, and so the whole idea is it's like, okay, right after 96,000, everyone on the block kind of has a dream, right? And and so then you transition into Piagua, and like who
so you
on
make
the block
his
has a dream more than that guy,
right.
So for me, I think that really works. That really landed for me. A lot of the other reorderings, I was having a harder time wrapping my head around.
Like just like from a structural point or from a what I'm used to point?
Both, but in terms of like my critical eye, definitely more from a structural point of view. I'll give you an example and say that I absolutely don't think that Abuela's big song should have been right before she died. I mean, I get what they were going for with that, but to me, it kind of just took away the impact, because it's like, okay, like you see her, and it's like, maybe if you don't know the show, then you're not going to be able to predict what happens. But, it's like you see her getting into bed, you see her not take the medicine, you see the ominous shot of the medicine that hasn't been taken, and then it goes into this, and I'm like, oh, she's dying. And so, Monkey, by the time that the song ends, I've already kind of fully processed, like, oh, okay, like Abuela Claudia is dead now.
And then it's more of a shock in the musical.
Right, in the musical, this is the biggest thing. Why the fuck is Carnival del Barrio after Abuela's death? I get that they want to celebrate the woman's legacy, right? Like, I get
like
that.
I can feel why it might be as nice to have it there structurally, like, so it's even more of a down moment for everyone to get pepped back up during.
That makes sense, I guess. I don't know. And then, of course, with that, we have to rework a lot of Carnival del Barrio, because we can't know that they have the money yet. And from a lot of my favorite lyrics in Carnival del Barrio have to do with the money. So I don't know. That was kind of just a weird sort of like domino effect.
I feel like I'll have more of a grasp on how I feel about the changes once I'm more used to the film and said changes, and I can be like, okay, now I can really approach this from thing, as opposed to just watching it once in a
right.
Let's see.
I will say that Jimmy Smits, that Kevin being a single father worked better than I thought it would. I actually thought it gave that story kind of a little bit more weight behind it.
Yeah, I can feel that. There's a moment in the movie where, like, early on, where you can kind of, like, off to the side, I think it's a framed portrait of Nina's mother. Maybe it was Priscilla Lopez? I'm not sure.
But yeah, I am really bummed that Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, I feel like the two cut songs that I missed most were probably Inutil and Everything I Know. Maybe it was a matter of the movie being long already.
Everything I Know,
and also it sounds like with the movie they try to give Usnavi and Vanessa's plot a bit more focus.
Right. Everything I Know, I feel like I kind of like, I like that song, but I kind of understand why it got cut.
Maybe I also have just a bit more of a past connection with that song.
Right. Inutil, I mean, I kind of agree where it's like I kind of like I like the other song more, but I feel like Inutil is like way more pivotal to the story.
Okay.
Like that to me, like, is just like it's a pivotal character song. Like it tells you everything you need to know about Kevin, So it's like I don't know. That was a big missed opportunity for me, especially because they had Jimmy Smits. I'm sure Jimmy Smits would have knocked that song out of the park.
Yeah, out of the songs that got cut, I feel like if I could put one of them back in, it would probably be Inutil.
Agreed.
See,
I gotta agree. I gotta be honest that Sunrise has never really done much for me, so I didn't mind that got cut.
Yeah. Where was I going with this? Yeah, I feel like Blackout Fireworks, like visually it was fine, but it felt a bit off for me.
I mean, of course, I think the big reason is probably because they cut out the
looting
fight. They also don't have what is I think the most powerful moment is in Blackout is just like Find Carmela, find my
Right.
Nina, find Carmela.
Camila.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Please find Nina, find Camila. If you see my family, bring them. Yeah,
Bring
that.
them home. Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
also, and
Because
from the
that
map
because
of
that
the
for
map
me
song
is
is
like the
it's late
first
in this
moment
great
in the
one,
show where you
come down.
really get a sense of like Kevin is, like throughout the show so far he's been kind of just like this really sort of boisterous man, and then that's the first moment in the show where you're just like, oh, this guy is just as scared as anyone else. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's how I read it.
Yeah. I guess the main thing I missed was the looting.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
It's like, so why were they setting off fireworks? I didn't entirely catch.
Because it's pretty.
Okay.
I don't know.
And again, like I said, I kind of missed the it's late in this grade won't come down.
Yeah, because I honestly thought it might be Kevin that would get the "it's late and this great won't come down" line. I don't know. But
speaking of the whole Kevin plot, you know the Leonardo DiCaprio pointing GIF meme?
Yes.
Imagine a more excitable version of that via me when I realized, well, shit, is that Patrick Page?
Wait,
like, I don't know if I would have done this if there were if it wasn't just my mother and me in the theater, but
wait,
maybe I would have physically restrained myself. But when I realized, it took a couple shots for me to realize it was him, but then I was just pointing enthusiastically, wait, is that him?
So he's the weird realtor guy.
The dry cleaner owner.
Okay, his character was weird for me. I like Patrick Page a lot, but I don't. His character kind of felt like it was just there to kind of shoehorn exposition in.
Maybe also portray some of the gentrification of the place.
Right, that too. Yeah. I don't know.
And some of the stuff they've added more about the BIPOC experience, I can't really judge that as well as actual BIPOC people can. So I will say that was that one edition of the I got searched scene.
Remind me?
When Nina's talking about the roommate's necklace going missing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, just all of Nina's college experiences, just in general.
Yeah, they changed up what her issue with Stanford was, and it still works in this new movie.
It's honestly, to me, even more potent than it was in the original.
Yeah, I guess I thought there was going to be more DACA stuff in the film, but it's still there. Kind of segueing from that as a way into Sunny. It's great having an actual teenager as Sunny.
Absolutely. Sunny has always been to me kind of the heart of the show, and so I think that the kid in this did fantastic.
Yeah. Let's see, who else do I have as notes? With the whole added theme about Juanita and dreams. This movie could have been called Washington Heights Enchanted Wish.
Oh, God. Well done, Rob. Well done. All right. So, I mean, I just want to geek out about the song some more, man, because I really think that a lot of them just knock it out of the park visually. So,
something I don't think I mentioned yet.
Of course, 96,000's always been a showstopper, but holy shit, what a great idea to bring it into that public pool.
I think I saw that was kind of just a throw it in decision. They were walking through the neighborhood to do while they were developing the movie. They passed by yeah, that's where our pool was. We're using this pool in the movie.
It works so well. I mean, I honestly think the shot where Sunny dives into the pool and then we see every, all the, we see the underwater choreography essentially. I mean, you're
talking at the end when the sound goes quieter?
Yes.
Brilliant way of bringing that into the screen.
Yeah, I mean, that to me is by far the, the best shot in the movie just from a filmmaking perspective.
I love how how you have all the guys going what instead of just Graffiti Pete.
For
And
sure.
of course, painting the numbers on the towels.
That was good. That was a good touch.
That's fine.
Because that is something that we never really address in the musical. Is like, how does everyone check the tickets?
I guess just off stage.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nice to see it happening on stage.
I wouldn't be surprised if for first timers, people who walk in not knowing the story, if they're going to be like, okay, so we had that big lottery number earlier, and then like this huge show-stopping lottery number, and then they just said, no one knows who. No one ever found out who won.
Crazy boy.
And then if they're like, well, then why did we do that big number? And then, of course, we still find out later, and it's still a wonderful number.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, something I loved in this is the Mickey Mousing of it, where you have stuff happening in sync with the music.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's I always just love that. I don't remember if the choreography for Heights on Broadway did. It very well may have. I know Hamilton definitely has that.
I mean, if the Broadway show had it, this definitely accentuates it.
Yeah, if Hamilton had it, then Heights probably had it to some capacity.
Right.
I was sort of surprised it was a different choreographer.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Kind of running out on things to say.
It was I thought it was really sweet how they had the tribute for Doreen Montalvo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do you know her involvement with this or her significance?
Can't say that I do, sorry.
Okay, so she had been with Heights from like real early on. Like she was in the 2005 Connecticut version that was a couple years before it was off Broadway. And she was in the ensemble of the original Broadway company and did the pre-recorded voice for the record singer, for the bolero singer. And she still sings that in the movie.
Oh, wow.
And then she passed away back in like October, like suddenly. So hence why there's the, little tribute to her in the credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Okay. Let's see. Any other major changes or anything like that we need to talk through? What do you think of the fact that Vanessa was more behind the mural at the end?
I'm cool with that. Like, I figure, Graffiti Pete is sort of like Abuelo, where I figure that he could have had a bit more presence throughout the movie.
Agreed. I feel like Graffiti Pete is kind of a tough nut to crack because you don't really get the significance of him until that last scene.
Yeah, they also cut out, the scene with him and Usnavi before 96,000.
Sure, yeah.
They cut some of his scenes, with that, and then when he shows up the morning after the looting.
Right. It just generally speaking, with the finale, I mean, yeah, with the framing device. So let's just break it down, Monkey. Let's break down
I imagine you probably had a huge sigh of relief when we found out, okay, he wasn't really on a beach.
Yes, yeah, because from day one when those trailers came out, and I was like, what the fuck? Usnavi's actually in the Dominican Republic? No, fuck that shit. Fuck that noise. That is not the Usnavi I know. The Usnavi I know would not fucking leave Washington Heights just to fucking tidy up in Dominican Republic and raise some kids. No. Usnavi is a streetlight. That's what I'm a streetlight means. That's why that fucking line is so powerful. So yes, I think it was a really, really dumb, cheap, manipulative framing device, and I didn't like it, but I was relieved at the end of it.
I guess I feel a touch similarly, but not as strongly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Only because, I mean, you know this, but for me, that ending is like one of the all-time great, just like kind of like emotionally cathartic moments for me in like any medium. Just Usnavi just so vividly finding his calling and finding his purpose and being so elated.
Yeah, I remember seeing that song for the first time. And he's like, "Oh, now he likes being the street. Now it's good that he's the street light." And yes, I do feel like the movie, like, even better, like, really, like, I felt the significance of Merry Christmas, the old building and loan more so in the film.
For sure. I hear you. All right. Any other things that we need to hit on here?
I agree with putting a welcome back message at the start of the movie from the creatives. I highly disagree with including scenes from the film in it. But that's me, as you know, oh, don't show it before we see it.
I just thought that was weird just because it's a fucking
It was like, I was glad that Disney stopped doing those.
Right.
And again, and now in this case, I can make an exception for it being there because, like, yeah, welcome back to the theater. Welcome back to the cinema for this long anticipated movie. That will hopefully be a nice, a good return one. But you could have just done it with just talking heads.
I mean, especially Lin-Manuel Miranda's talking head, for fuck's sake.
Right,
that is
like, deny, like,
out of all the talking heads, that is one of the most compelling talking heads.
And still keep the book writer as well.
Yeah.
The screenwriter, yeah. I'm only not saying her name because I don't want to risk mispronouncing it. My apologies, ma'am.
It's all good.
Or señorita.
All right.
Where was I going with this? I don't deny, like, I do feel like with Lin as Piragua guy, it's like, it's not unearned. The casting makes sense, but it does feel a bit like, look, it's Lin-Manuel Miranda!
He's got a beard, though. All right. I think this is pretty much where we should wrap up, Monkey.
Perhaps. But yeah, so, again, despite whatever little nitpicks and whatnot there are, and still very good, very nicely done film, very well done. Glad to have it finally here, and they did well with it.
Yeah, I would absolutely give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's pretty shaky in the storytelling point of view, and I honestly don't know if that's just me being nitpicky about, like, oh, the story was told better in the show. But you know what? I don't know. It's weird, Monkey. It's an enigma because, like I said, there's a lot of stuff about this thing visually.
Enigma 425 Enigma.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in here visually that elevate the source material. But then I feel like a lot of story choices, a lot of storytelling decisions, like, actively hold the material back. So because of that, I'm kind of, that's where I'm kind of getting my my 8 out of 10 from, where it's like, it's not a perfect film by any means, but holy shit, the stuff that they adapted incredibly well.
And maybe some of the weirder changes wouldn't weigh as much if they didn't involve the last third or so.
That too, for sure.
Yeah. Also, I don't deny, as well as they did with some of the visual touches, I feel like maybe they could have left out the moving mannequin heads. If I may go esoteric here again, it's like they saw the hashtag revival and were like, hey.
I kind of got like a vaguely Brave Little Toaster vibe from those.
All right. In the Heights, Usnavi goes to Mars.
You talking crazy, boy?